Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is a second lesson in a series of videos designed to cover PHP syntax and the PHP language. In this video, I'll be covering errors and some common errors and how to get around them, how to debug them, as well as I'm going to cover a concept called constants. And actually, it's a data type that I had neglected to mention in the previous video. Alright, so basically we've got my page back, and you'll notice that there's this new one. It says define my static constant value. Define is one of those native functions that I had explained previously, and it has two parameters. The first parameter is my static. It's just the name of whatever you want your constant to be called. Constant is a static value. It's constant. It always stays the same. And you have to encapsulate that in single quotation marks. And the next value is whatever you want that constant to mean. It's a way of assigning. It's like a way of assigning the variable without the assignment operator. But you have to do it in terms of when it comes to constants. So you're assigning constant value to the term my static. So when you print my static down here without $, make sure there's no $, it'll show constant value, like so. See? Just concatenated onto the end, and then the regular array and all that other fun stuff. So if we go back, and we look at the error part of this whole thing, basically, you can run into some syntax errors, some general errors when it comes to creating PHP pages, and it's good to know how to find them and how to get rid of them, or else stuff's just not going to work. The simplest one I'm going to do is a syntax error. So if we, for example, if we misdefine an array or a variable without using the $, when we're first initializing it, it can cause a syntax error and a parse error. So I just deleted that $, and now it says parse error, syntax error, unexpected equal sign. And so a syntax error is where you basically put something where it doesn't belong, and a parse error means that it's an error, it's a critical error, so it stopped the script in its tracks, so nothing was printed at that point. And then it says where the script is located. In my terms, it's the WAMP directory. On the web server, it would be different. And then the script name, and then on what line, so line 10. And this is where Notepad++ comes in handy, because this is line 10 right here. Right, so you just want to go ahead and throw the $, back in, save it, and then perfect. Alright, so let's go back and look at another error. Okay, so what if we define the variable properly, but we didn't call it properly? So we get rid of this $. Let's say I want to get var1. I want to assign the value of var1. Well, we know that that would put hello you world and print it out in var3. So let's go ahead and save it. And then refresh the page. And it doesn't stop the page because it's technically not a parse error, but it says use of undefined constant var1, assumed var1 in, and then it says the script location and what line. So undefined constant, which means that I didn't use the define to create a constant. Create it as a constant as far as the PHP page is concerned. So if we go back and do this again, because that's not supposed to be a constant, it's supposed to be a variable, we save it, and then we refresh it, and everything's perfect again. There's another one, and it's called like a logic error. It doesn't necessarily show itself as an error message. This one will, but sometimes they won't, and I'll explain that afterwards when it comes to looping and stuff like that. So let's say, for example, we don't end this comment properly. We'll go like this. It says warning, unterminated comment starting in line 2. So we find out, okay, it's starting on line 2. There's nothing wrong on line 2. Actually, we have to go down further and notice that we have to add that comment back in. And then we save the page, refresh, perfect, everything's good to go. Alright, so basically this is just designed to show the user that, you know, you can run into errors and they can break everything, but it's not hard to find them, especially in really simple scripts. It's a little bit harder to find them, and you just have to pay attention to the error message and make sure you know what you're looking for. Alright, and that concludes this video. Thanks for watching.